here with Eric Radtke, President of Sportys Academy. Mr. President, how are you?
Thank you, Jim. Great. Glad to be here.
Make a long story short, there is a tremendous need for people to get their act together. It's been a Wild West. Too many people going, oh, I got a drone under the tree for Christmas. I'm ready to go. I can go take on the world. Doesn't quite work that way. Sportys has been a leader in a number of educational efforts for a number of years, and I've had great conversations with Hal over the years talking about what's next and how to do it, and more important, how to bring this down to Joe and Jane Q Aviator. So tell us what Sportys is doing in the drone arena.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's hard to imagine a hotter topic in aviation other than the drone market. You can feel the excitement in the air. You can feel the excitement here on the exhibit floor at XPONENTIAL 2017.
This is no small potatoes.
No, not at all. The whole world is watching. You know, certainly it's been a long time coming to even take that first step in terms of integrating UAS systems into the national airspace. And there's a lot of work to be done. But as you point out, you know, we need to make sure that the training, the educational opportunities catch up to the accessibility of the drones. I mean, the most exciting part about all of this is what we don't see. It's what's to come. I mean, yeah, a lot of excitement here, but you know, the applications appear to be limitless. So we're going to have all kinds of new entrants into this drone arena. And we have to have the resources, we have to have the support, we have to have the training available to them. So at Sportys, we're definitely watching the industry very carefully. We're already providing a variety of training resources, most of which can be done in the convenience in an online or an app format.
On the iPad?
On the iPad, absolutely. Even Android devices, we have some you know, training course options there as well. But we have everything from full UAS ground school courses all the way down to very niche specific Part 107 remote pilot test prep courseware as well. And what I expect to see and what you can maybe look forward to from Sportys as well is the opportunity to do some hands-on training in addition to just the distance learning opportunities.
That seems to be a much demanded area. There are people coming out. It's one thing to run around with my little Phantom 3 and trash it every couple of days, fix it up and go fly again. But I'm looking to do something, for lack of a better way to put it, more professional. And it takes guidance. The old trial and error situation winds up with a lot of errors. Yes,
indeed. There's very important public policy issues at stake here. So again, I can't underscore the importance of enough of everyone being good ambassadors for aviation and good citizens of aviation. There's a lot of platforms out there. I mean, certainly from a Sportys perspective, we are going to take a very deliberate, measured approach. Make sure we do it the right way, the way Sportys has always been, you know, conducting business really in its 55-year history. But I would agree with you. I think that is definitely what the educational community in particular in aviation is going to have to.
It'd be interesting to see how you attack that as well, because I've been following over the years how you've handled just plain old basic private pilot or sport pilot flight training, and you've had an unusually successful program in terms not just about how cost-effective you've made the program under the circumstances, but how well the folks going through the program have ultimately done.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Sportys is a trustworthy name in aviation, so you know, our flight school, our flight training division certainly benefits from that. But you know, it's the fundamentals. We stick with the fundamentals. We have a system that we know works. We have evidence that it works. And we get our training staff working from the same playbook and make sure everyone has the correct expectations. So there's certainly a lot of those education fundamentals that we think are applicable, of course, to this UAS market as well.
Well, Eric, I'm Joe Q Aviator. I'm fascinated by the fact that the RC aircraft that I used to play with have now generated the drone industry, and hey, maybe there's even a job in it down the line. But there's rules and regs now. So I log on to sportys.com. Where do I go to find good, solid, basic programming right now that'll help me get through all the legalities and, more important, make me a safer drone pilot?
Sure. Sportys.com/drones is kind of your one-stop Sportys landing page for everything drone-related. Everything from equipment to accessories, supplies, and, of course, training material, which is going to be front and center. So, I mean, there's ways to customize the training options you have from Sportys. Again, everything from the comprehensive full UAS ground school programs for someone coming in very fresh and new to this market, to this sector, down to those who maybe have some experience, maybe have had some extensive RC experience in the past before we had the structure that we do now, that are just looking maybe for some assistance, or again, those 1, 2, 3s and those basic fundamentals of what it takes to operate under Part 107, and we have very niche specific programs there as well. Like all of our programs, you can test drive everything. So it's not like you're making uninformed decisions. You can take everything for a full test drive online before you make the purchase, and explore and read and look at reviews, and really kind of funnel down into exactly what it is that will accomplish your individual goal.
Well, the thing I've liked about your programs is their outright portability. I mean, I can update something, look at it on an iPhone or an iPad. I can look at it my home PC, and the overall coursework has been very good. As somebody who's been, God, I hate to say how old my flight instructor rating is. It's got cobwebs on it. But I've watched this industry try and try again a number of ways just to reach out to people. And the more convenient, the more portable, and then of course the more expertly done, the better off we all are.
Sure. We take the approach that it needs to be fun, it needs to be engaging, it needs to be built for the modern consumer that's accustomed to getting information in kind of a manageable segments where and when they wish to consume information. So that's certainly of top of mind with all of our educational development. It's certainly worth noting, before we had the structure of Part 107 that we do now, and the really primary vehicle for an individual to receive legal formal approval was through that Part 333 exemption process. We work with a number of pilots who were had goals of sport pilot, recreational pilot, kind of the quickest, most economical, efficient pathway to pilot certification, which at one time, of course, was a requirement for those Part 333s. But what I want to point out is that once an individual came and got to experience that magic of flight, which we get to do on a regular basis, and not all the drone pilots out there have been able to do, really something magical about that experience. So I don't want to ignore the fact that there's some powered pilot opportunities out there to this drone market too, and certainly I think from a holistic educational and experience perspective, some real value in maybe seeing what it's about, what powered flight is about, understanding the communications and airport operations and all of those things. And that's something that Sportys is uniquely positioned to be able to deliver as well.
With the expertise that you have from the sport, general, and commercial aviation worlds, in walking a show like this, what is your impression about the abilities industry right now to cope with the progress it's making and deal with the issues it faces to be able to somehow synergize a far better industry out of it overall?
There's a lot of work to be done. Again, the technological advancements, equipment, accessibility, affordability is all advancing very rapidly. So, I think, everyone's going to have to, take a big deep breath, step back, and really, again, focus on the right, safe, measured approach to this full integration and synergy, as you talk about. I don't think we're there yet. I love the excitement. I love the excitement for sure. But it definitely needs to advance in a cohesive, format, because again, the world is watching.
Boy, ain't that the truth. The conversations we had a couple of weeks ago with Michael Huerta, with Earl Lawrence yesterday, with Brian Wynne, the president of AUVSI, the one thing that's become kind of a common theme, in particular, it was an interesting conversation with Michael Huerta, where you realize you're doing more here than controlling aircraft or controlling transportation system. You're literally changing society. And he was very thoughtful about that. Everybody else has been. And that, to me, is a very hopeful point, that they realize that this goes far beyond flying from A to Z or taking a payload or moving from one thing to another. it is a game changer.
Absolutely, absolutely. And there's, I mean, let us not forget too about, you know, as part of this integration, it's a very difficult job. I don't envy the task. There are these community expectations, and there's these community standards that we all have to be aware of. Right now it's a bit of a moving target, so some very important policy decisions that are still left to be ironed out for sure.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to move along here and start talking drone racing in a few moments. Eric, I can't thank you enough for spending time with us here on Aero-TV.
Jim, glad to be here.
Aero-News Network's coverage of the Association for Unmanned Vehicle Systems International's Exponential 2017, live from Dallas, Texas, is brought to you in part by the following sponsors.
Let Patrick Neal and Associates provide the legal expertise needed to navigate the commercial UAS industry. Whether it be waivers, exemptions, operational plans, or other issues, we can provide the guidance you need to keep flying and building your successful UAS operation. www.droneattorneys.us.
In collaboration with NASC, introducing Sonex Aerospace, bringing you the Taros Group 4 UAS, the redesigned Tiger Shark Block 4, and the Subsonics Twin Jet UAS, all derived from flight-proven manned systems, not concepts, real aircraft. More at SonexAerospace.com.